Welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, the last of the flowers on the Comfrey are just starting to die off now. There's not many pollinators about, and this will die back. Shan't harvest anymore. We haven't touched it now for a month or two, and this will encourage better growth next year, as that growth feeds the crowns, the roots. We've really got down this compost in this bin now. This is the compost that we find. It's got the perlite in. Keep pinching a little bit for the beds, so hopefully this will be out the way fairly soon. We've got all the leaf mould now into the 2019 leaf mould into that bin. All the 2018 leaf mould's been sifted, ready to use around the growing spaces, and all the fruit trees now have had the fruits picked. We removed the apples in the month of October because the rats. If you want to see what I've been up to in September, then look in my playlists or the cards, the end screen, whatever, for everything I've done in September. So that'll be September 2020. The gravity fed rainwater guttering system has worked well. We'll have to reconsider what we actually plant in here next year. It got rather dark with the grapevine and the pomegranate bush. I can't take that out yet until everything's finished. Don't want to disturb the guttering. But we've got lots and lots of peppers still. Some in different states of health. Ooh, these are a bit warm, guys, so we'll have to see what we can do with those. There's the mixtures we add to the food waste for the underground worm farms. I haven't fed them for a while, and you'll see why shortly. We got told that I'd won the hashtag Sunflower Challenge 2020, the display, so we're pleased about that, and I haven't dropped them yet. We've still got a few days left of October, but there's still some flowers, so I don't really want to take them down yet. It surprised me how long they're actually lasting. One of the jobs for October was getting these pots all collected up. We've managed to do that. They're all nice and clean, and this is where I normally stack all my 1 ton bag of leaves. These are, when I say 1 ton bags, they're this size, this sort of 1 ton builder's bag size. I normally stack them all down here, but because I've got all the pallets around my rhubarb, I can't get round the corner, so we're going to bring them directly up here. This is where I should be bringing it anyway, because it's the widest piece. But I did reveal one of my potatoes this month, the red ones. I think they were the Red Duke of York, and I've got my Comfrey to sort out, and I think I've stacked far too much perennial weeds in this. We'll have to see what, I might have to just tip it out down here and see what we've got. But I can't harvest the water by the look of it, but it'll go into the wood chips, help compost those. And as you can see, I haven't quite got to tidying all this up yet, but it has been a very, very busy month. During this month we've managed to source a few more of these pallets. I like these pallets with the flat edges because you can make all sorts with them. We've acquired this tank and it's about 273 litres, so with a couple of fittings and a few adjustments I might be using this in the polytunnel. hopefully. And as you can see, the rhubarb is dying back nicely, and next month we'll be looking to rejuvenate that with some manure, half manure and half wood chips. I'm doing a little experiment. We're just trying to keep some of the wood off the ground. And there's some of the pipes for the siphoning blue barrels to join them up. And we've made a little bit of headway. These are the wood chips that I piled up there to spread out, but we've gained a bit more room now. This bush has done really well. I presume it's one of the currant family, and these are still surviving. These solid plastic sheets are going to be buried in the ground, and that's my blocking 14 Comfrey, and this is where this is going. So we've been grabbing some other weeds out. We've been stripping some of these big pallets down and having a general tidy up. This is the wood I got from another plot 12 months, 2 years ago. Still haven't used it yet. Will I use it? Don't know. We've still got some polycarbonate sheets. 3 of those are for the square foot gardening. We'll be reusing those. I'll be putting some wood around them. These 2 sheets are going onto the shed revamp. So once they're gone, we'll be having a little bit more room. And these supports have worked really well with all the raspberry family. The raspberries have all but finished. We've got a few runners coming from out the rhubarb cage. I'll get those pulled out, and they're almost finished, and we'll be cutting these down to about 6 inches, 150 mil in the just after Christmas. Excuse me. Oh, they weren't too bad actually. The last few blackberries. That's going to be sour. Oh, very sour, very crunchy, but very nice. We had another 200 litre compost find, and I've been using that in one of the new beds, and now we've cut that wire off now to about there so we can get at all the weeds. Doesn't that look better? So this is the only area I've been able to cut back at the moment, but didn't realise how much work we'd actually got to do. Well, Mrs. King's kept me busy in the kitchen with a new kitchen makeover. Check that video out if you're interested. During the month of October, we did notice that my summer fruiting raspberries that have grew this year, these are the new shoots. Look, all nicely red, not brown or black, but I don't think they'll come to much. I could just stand and stare at these blueberries. What a lovely colour. Well, the lettuce is getting a little bit bitter now, but I'm still taking some of the harvest from the square foot gardening and the vertical gardening. Not much left now, a lot going to seed. Bull's blood beetroot. I always get asked questions at work when they see my lunchbox and say, look at the colours. So much better than shop bought. This is natural colours, a new variety. Hoping to get some more of that. I haven't done this cage. Far too busy to do anything like that. I must take some of these now. We just haven't had the dry weather to harvest any of the seeds. It's been far too wet. So during this month we got our Bunyards exhibition broad beans in. We've been preparing the bed for the asparagus. We planted the winter cabbage. I must take that leaf off just to see if it's fresh damage or not. Goodbye weed. Pop it on the floor, it'll compost in the wood chips. We raised all the nets up. The nets are there to stop the pigeons flying in and landing on top of my dwarf kale. And there's the green manure. I'll be cutting that down before the flower, and then I'll top up with some of that compost we find. So I'd started to do the ridges on this, but Becky, I think it's Becky's Allotment, said no need, you don't really need, the roots should be okay because we're in a raised bed, not just stuck down on the ground. But I've still done it. We've added some nice nutrients inside here. Knowing that the ground's going to sink again, I've kept it quite high, and then I've used some of the dumped cannabis spent compost down each side of the ridge, so you can see the planting area there. And these are my underground worm farms. I've not fed the worms because I didn't want the rats and mice getting anywhere near, especially the beans that we just planted direct. There's the asparagus dying off. So through recommendations we are going to plant that as soon as I get a chance. Now, I've been working a lot with Becky from Becky's Allotment. Go and check her channel out. She will comment on my videos, but I'm glad I potted them up, because this one compared to this one, potting them up has done them really good. And these were sown as seed, I think it was last year or the year before, so hopefully we'll get a crop in a few years' time. But considering the butterflies have been about, all the brassicas are looking very nice. Lovely vibrant colour. These are the wood chips from out of the polytunnel. It's had compost and all sorts run out of the bucket, so we've now bagged some up. It looks like that starlet sprouting broccoli has fallen over, but imagine the height. They're nearly as tall as me, but the beds are two scaffold planks high. I've raised this one because I've got lots of spare soil compost, so we need to get this lined, dig down below that plastic and then line it again. These are Marie's crimson broad beans, and it was hidden, so I forgot to plant them, but that'll keep the pigeons off. So the claret, so the claret sprouting, they're like a red, and then we got the Nero de Toscano, whatever, but that's been harvested regularly. Just keep taking the bottom ones before they go mad and die off. Mrs. K wants a parsnip today, so I'm going to give her one. She'll be happy with that. A bit of a rogue I am for not, I've planted all my beans, look, and I haven't got rid of the rubbish. I planted some parsnips on the 20th of the 9th this year, and they're all looking all good, and I've planted 4 seeds per station instead of 3, and most stations have got 4, so going to be thin those out to 1 seed per station. I'll keep the bottle tops on all winter probably. we've almost used all these carrots, so I'll be doing a harvest before the end of the month. And then we've got some sort of hedge bush. Look at the tap roots on that, but they come out quite easily in this this compost mix. As soon as the rest of my carrots die off, then I shall mulch them with some more of this compost to insulate them, and possibly put a little bit of cardboard over them, or those polycarbonate sheets to keep some of the water off. But we've had that much rain that I don't think, if they're going to split, they've already split. And I'm really glad I put this sheet on, because these potatoes would be absolutely wet through now. It looks like that might have a leak in it actually. There's a hole, but at least the hole's going in one place and not everywhere. Here's one of the giant beetroots that we grew for the giant show. My giant cabbage. There's the parsnip, and there's the beetroot. I've kept them out because I do get contacted by the press and radio occasionally to be interviewed about this. We built the rocket stove this month, and yeah, it worked well, but got some really good comments, and I'm thinking about doing a dry build now. And creating a J stove, so it'll come across and then up and then feed the sticks from there. Suggestions about putting pipes in. I've found another grill like that to actually sit the sticks on so the air can get underneath. I might double it up. So I do like to share things, because if I can't get something right, there's lots and lots of people out there that do want to help. The red Russian garlic, no signs yet. These are the Oprea, the brood balls, living leek, pearl leek. There's two labels there. One is with the marker pen without the sealant, so I'm just seeing which is best. Shallots, they're doing well, and the one that wasn't growing very well is now sprouted up. There's my slug traps. The celery bog garden, that's now out, and that's now over here. The soil's in there, and we'll start sieving the rest of the compost out those bins. Did I say there were shallots? You see, I haven't labelled these up. This is where I'm going to get confused. These are shallots. The ones before, where the slug traps were, are the walking onions, and no signs yet on the elephant garlic. The Jerusalem artichokes are pushing all the soil now out of their containers. We'll be revealing another one of those. Then we'll be moving all this, and then we can start stacking the barrels along and connecting them up with the hose pipes, because this area here is excellent at collecting rainwater. We managed to get the pond done at the end of the long root, so this is how I grow my long roots. We plant them at that end, and the tap root comes down and down and down, and then if it drops into the water with a cover on, it won't die, and it'll continue living in there. And eventually, when I'm retired, I should be doing a setup here. These are 4 metre. I'll be setting up a 6 metre to try and get up close with the big boys. Still got a good supply of onions, and I'm hoping that we'll have plenty. And the ones that are marked up for ready for going for seed are there, and we'll be starting those off in November, and then we'll start watering these, and hopefully these will start sprouting. We're very close now to being able to harvest lots and lots of Sparkler 3 radish seeds. And this month we also looked at how we prepare our beds. All I've done with this one is cover it with cardboard to reduce the weeds. All the strawberries are planted, just missing 5, and these have had a wee bit of manure. and the cardboard's there to protect the worms. They're loving it, and it does stop the rainwater washing the nutrients too far away and let the worms dig it down, and the water will just drop down the sides. But these do look really nice strawberry plants, and once all the cover's on, I hopefully will have an early crop. Must take that tomato now. It's not going to ripen much more, and I left that in there to see if I could get any more yellow courgettes, zucchinis, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen, so we can strip those out. And we got that end piece out. We need to get all this old wood off. So it's been a very busy month, so that's what we've been up to. This is the tour for the end of October, and the progress on all the jobs. There's a few more pallet collars there. They're not so good pallet collars, so they can go around the Jerusalem artichokes just as a surround. I'm hoping to come back out again, but this great big pile of soil here, I need to get it moved. But if you've enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing. Please hit the like or dislike button for the interaction, and please leave me a comment with anything that you've seen today. It's just started to rain again, and I haven't been up here nearly all week, other than though you've seen some videos. Some of them were pre-recorded while the weather was good, because I knew Mrs. K was going to keep me busy. I do enjoy DIY. I like to keep myself busy. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.